It's Thursday, November 9th, 2023, and in my house, it's cold. As I'm sure you've heard, there's a major natural gas outage affecting Pullman, Moscow, Lewiston, Clarkston, and everything in between. This all started Wednesday afternoon at about 12:40 p.m. when the main natural gas line that feeds into this part of Whitman County was struck by an excavator. Now, as you walk around Pullman, there's actually natural gas lines everywhere. In the right-of-ways under most of our city streets, these small 1- and 2-inch lines connect almost every building in town. But the way that natural gas makes it into our community is a bit more complicated. For the most part, our natural gas originates along the I-5 corridor with a series of depots. From there, pressurizing stations distribute it to a network of pipes that spread out all across the Pacific Northwest. Specifically, our gas comes up the Columbia River Gorge before taking a left turn on the main line to Spokane that roughly follows Highway 395. Right around Ritzville, the pipe splits in two, going north to Spokane and east towards Pullman, where it splits again to supply the rural communities of eastern Washington, going as far south as Walla Walla, and east into the Palouse. This means that every gas-powered furnace, stovetop, and hot water heater is fed through a pipeline that passes through the field right outside of town. This line continues near Sand Road to supply Moscow, as well as Troy and all the way out to Deary. It also branches south and supplies all of Lewiston Clarkston. Now, if you're saying to yourself, this is crazy that there's only one pipe. Why isn't there a backup? Oh, really, it all comes down to geography. South of the Palouse is Hell's Canyon. You're not going to easily set a pipeline from Boise. To the east, we have the mountains. There's probably a case to be made for a second gas line connecting Pullman to Spokane, but just like the water infrastructure issues in Pullman, it really comes down to right-of-way and construction costs. But here's the good news. And that's the 5th or 6th Avista truck that is driven the other direction. So yeah, it looks like Avista is calling in the cavalry. Here's a current view of the work site. As you can see, this is a big pipe, but they already have the ruptured section removed, and it looks like they're prepping the metal for splicing. It sure looks like Avista is putting all hands on deck to get things back up and running. Now for the bad news. Repairing this ruptured pipe is just the first step in a long process. It's not a simple matter of just turning the gas back on and letting it flood into our homes and businesses. Avista is now going home to home, site to site to turn off the valves to make it easier to maintain pressure once service is restored, which means that every one of those valves will have to be systematically turned back on one at a time. This process has the potential to go on for days. It's bound to be frustrating, but it sure looks like the utilities are taking this seriously and putting everyone's well-being in mind. So for everybody out there, let's practice being good neighbors. If you are blessed to have electric hot water or electric heat, consider opening up your home to your neighbors who might need a place to warm up. And if you are in dire medical need or in danger of physical harm, please ask for help. There's services available both publicly and from local charities. Let's look out for each other in these next few days, and thanks so much for watching.